There are phone calls that change the temperature of a room. Not because they bring bad news, because they bring a reckoning. Addy had been expecting this call for months. He just did not expect it to feel this way when it finally came. Today, we follow two siblings on a 40-minute walk home. By the time they reach the gate, one of them will carry the beginning of a financial education that will reshape everything he thinks he knows about money, wealth, and what it means to build a life. The other is already carrying a secret that will change the family forever. Neither of them knows what is waiting on the other side of that door. Stay with us. Addy is 24, university student, firstborn son of a man who believes deeply in structure, discipline, and the kind of hard-won wisdom that cannot be downloaded or skipped. He carries a leather messenger bag that has been with him since his first year of university. And inside it, alongside his notebooks, is a printout of a financial coaching program he found last week, buried in the fine print of his student enrollment insurance. Free access. Almost nobody uses it. Addy found it. This is who Addy is. He reads the fine print. Remember that. Kaiya is 21, first year of university. She already knows her major, her career path, her business idea, and the specific neighbourhood she intends to live in after she graduates. Yes, already. She is the kind of person who walks into a room and immediately understands the architecture of what is happening. Who holds what? Who wants what is not being said. She is also, tonight, not saying something. We will come back to that.
Kaiya, can you tell me where you are taking me?
They had planned to take the bus. They did not take the bus. Kaiya said,
"Walk with me. I want to show you something."
It is 40 minutes on foot.
And we have 40 minutes.
And so they walked. Here is what Kaiya wants. Not a mansion, not a postcode that announces arrival. A life, close to the people she loves, in a neighbourhood where she knows her neighbours, running a life coaching agency, helping working professionals think more clearly about who they are and what they are actually building. Contentment. Chosen, not settled for. There is a difference, by the way. And Kaiya, at 21, already knows it. Now, Addy teases her, gently, the way older brothers do. He suggests that her desire to live in this specific neighbourhood might have something to do with a young man named Dele, who also happens to live 2 streets away.
Kaiya, you are lying.
I'm telling you.
Kaiya does not confirm this. She also does not deny it. She tells him, "Come, it is your turn." Here is the first lesson in tonight's episode, and we are going to return to this. Kaiya knows what she wants. She has reverse-engineered her entire education, her career, her living situation, to support one clear vision. Most people spend years living a life they do not want, because they never stopped, the way Kaiya stopped in that quiet street and asked the question, what does enough actually look like for me? Contentment is not the enemy of ambition. Knowing what you want, that is the beginning of every financial plan that actually works.
Now let me show you my dream world.
This is what Addy wants. He does not apologize for it. He does not dress it up in careful language or hedge it with qualifications. He stands in front of houses that were built by people who understood money, who understood it early enough and deeply enough to make it work for them. And he says simply, "This is why."
Why I study the way I study. Why I read what I read. Why I signed up for those financial coaching sessions last week.
What sessions?
And then he tells Kaiya about the financial coaching program. Free, available, hidden, as we said, in the fine print of his student insurance. A program that covers compound interest, asset building, debt reduction, how to invest when you have nothing, how to think about money, not as a resource to spend, but as a tool to deploy. He signed up last week. He has already completed the first module. He is carrying the notes, right there, in that bag. Here is the second lesson, and this one is practical. Most students, most of them, are sitting on financial resources they have never discovered, because nobody told them to look. Enrollment packages, insurance benefits, university financial wellness programs. These exist. They are real. They are often completely free. The difference between Addy and the majority of his classmates is not intelligence. It is not opportunity. It is that he read the fine print. He also tells Kaiya something else. His father, Christus, has always promised that when Addy chose his major, the real education would begin. Not school. Something older, more direct. Everything Christus knows about responsibility, discipline, and what it means to build something that lasts. Addy chose his major 3 weeks ago.
Anyways, let's go and see Dad now.
And then, Addy asks about their mother. He has always felt it. Something in the way Melly looks at him. Not at Kaiya, at him. A held-back sentence. A truth she has started and stopped 1,000 times. He has felt it his whole life and never quite had the words for it. Until now. He asks Kaiya, quietly, if she has noticed. And here is where the story turns. Because Kaiya, who notices everything, who reads every room, who has never in her life been genuinely unaware of something happening in her family, goes quiet. She says, "Mum is just emotional. She loves us." She says it too smoothly, too quickly. She does not look at him. Addy knows his sister. He knows that Kaiya's silence is never absence. It is a decision. He knows that she knows something. He knows she has known it for a while. And he knows, and this is the part that stays with him as they turn the last corner toward home, that whatever she knows, it is part of why she wants to live nearby after she graduates. She is not just going home for Delhi. She is going home for her mother, for something that has not yet been said out loud, something that, maybe, tonight, is one step closer to the surface. The gate is old green metal, carved panels, a crowned eagle, a spread of feathers. Addy has stood at this gate 1,000 times, but tonight, it feels like the first time something real is waiting on the other side. Their mother comes out when she hears them. She is warm, she is loving. The embrace is real in the way that only a mother's embrace can be real, complete, unguarded, without condition. But Kaiya, stepping back from the hug, reads her mother's face the way she always does, and sees it. The thing behind the smile, the held sentence, the carefully maintained door, between what Melly shows her children and what she carries alone. Their eyes meet, mother and daughter, and something passes between them that Addy cannot see. Not yet. Melly goes inside. The kitchen swallows her. Addy straightens his jacket, sets his shoulders. He looks at Kaiya. She looks at him. She says, "He is inside." He says, "I know." And they walk through the door, together. In the next episode of The Gate, Christus speaks, and what he says about money, discipline, and the cost of a life well built will be the most important conversation Addy has ever had. But somewhere in that house, Melly is carrying a truth that has waited 24 years. And Kaiya, who has always known, is running out of reasons to keep the door closed. If this story is about your family, if you have ever stood at a gate like this, carrying questions bigger than the evening, leave a comment below. We read every one. Subscribe, because the next episode begins where this one ends, in the room with the closed door. We will see you there.